2019 proposed budget. This is a public hearing with public comment period of 5 minutes per person. I do want to go over some of our ground rules. Speakers will follow a few simple rules. Concerns about the performance or actions of individuals, including town employees and school employees, should be made outside this meeting to the appropriate town official. Please contact the town manager or the superintendent for guidance on this matter. Comments must not disclose confidential information such as information relating to police or EMS business. Obscenity, crude language, defamatory statements about individuals, and conduct intended to disrupt this meeting will not be tolerated. Every speaker must obey the order of the chair. Thank you. Failure to do so can result in removal from the room and loss of future speaking privileges. We expect everyone to observe the highest level of decorum and to show respect to your fellow citizens. Thank you.
My name is Mike Doyle. I live at Shady Lane. I've lived here in Falmouth for about 40 years. I went online today and looked at the School Board Code of Ethics, which is listed as BCA in the system. In number 5, I thought was unusual. It says, I understand that the board's primary responsibility is to set educational policy and not to manage the schools day to day. According to this, the school board promises, I will not undermine or usurp the authority of the superintendent or school administrators. This is an example of the proverbial tail wagging the dog. And I'll give you 3 examples that I found when I was running for school board 5 or 6 years ago. One of them was the heating oil expenditures at that time were excessive, so much so that I got month-to-month deliveries and expenses for the heating oil. And at that time, it was almost $300,000 more for that heating season than Avery Fuel would have charged for the exact same number of gallons delivered at exactly the same number of days. And in one case, it was $45,000 more in 1 month alone. The next one that I thought was interesting was the town, and I'm going to guess the school board at the same time, were buying 28-pound paper that cost $15 a ream, according to the invoices that I saw, versus Staples, which was selling the same 28-pound paper for, I think it was $7 a ream at the time, or an $8 more per ream. I think my comments about it was enough to raise to the point that a contractor was hired to force a competitive bid between W.B. Mason and Staples. Apparently he got W.B. Mason to come down to what the cost Staples was charging for office supplies in general. And that difference was $32,800. So I'm going to take credit for saving this town $32,800 a year for at least 10 years, we'll hope. So I'd like to have anyone here that saved the town more than $328,000, please put your hand up at this time. The part that was amazing was that the person running the Council of Governments, Greater Portland Council of Governments, the executive director, made the comment that he couldn't understand why Falmouth was leaving their contract for office supplies. This is his comment. Everything's been going fine here for 40 years. We can't understand why Falmouth would leave. The concept was that no one thought it was a good idea for the Council of Governments to get a competitive bid against W.B. Mason for 40 years. And I see this repeated over and over again, both in the school department and in the town in general. The last one, which was the one I thought was most interesting, was $39,000 to pave the superintendent's parking lot a few years ago. I asked for the competitive bids for the contract and a copy of the contract, and all I received was a paid invoice for $39,000. This is a sample of how mismanagement, who knows how much more mismanagement is in this budget, because the 3 highest paid people in this town are sitting in this room: superintendent of schools, business manager, and the town manager. Who would run their own family business, their own family checking account like this? I mean, if I spend over $500 at my house, I get competitive bids for it. This town is supposed to get competitive bids for anything over $20,000. I see one example after another. We've had Drummond and Woodson for a law firm for years. I think we spend someplace around $300,000 a year for them. I don't think it's ever gone out for a competitive bid. Maybe we can find a law firm that will do it for only $250,000 a year. At some point in time, you're managing millions of dollars of our tax dollars. Wouldn't it be nice that you get a competitive bid once in a while without Mike Dole having to force you by embarrassing you that you're paying twice as much for a ream of paper that you can walk into Staples and buy it off the shelf without a contract? At some point in time, folks, let's sharpen the pencil and take care of our money. Thank you.
Thank you.